Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of eat2explore with Rowena. As you can see, I'm actually doing an event here, so it's live. But enjoy. Today we are visiting Greece and we're making Spanakopita. Enjoy. Hi. Welcome to another episode of eat2explore with Rowena. Today we are exploring Greece. In fact, I just got back from Greece 2 weeks ago and love everything about Greece. The beautiful weather, the very friendly Greek, and also, of course, the food. So today, I'm actually changing things up a little bit. I actually swapped out one of our recipe and added a new one for spinach pie, spanakopita. So before we start cooking, let's unbox and see what's inside. All right, let's learn everything about Greece. Greece is have lots of islands, as you can see. Athens, a lot of Greek history, Greek mystical figures, and so definitely go visit the Acropolis. I was just in Santorini. Lots of history as well to learn. So fun way to learn geography and history. Their language, their music, their art. We actually tell you a little bit about Greek, Orthodox Greek with their Greek Easter, which is slightly different than ours. So check it out. In the box, you also get a colorful spoons, measuring spoons. We always have 3 recipes, and as I mentioned, we are swapping out the lamb burger, which is still in this month's box. Lamb burger with spanakopita that we're gonna make today. Spinach pie. Of course, you got your spices and mixes and learn everything about Greek flags. All right, shall we start cooking? Let's see what Melissa Produce have provided us. Again, lots of vegetables. In fact, all our recipes actually is very balanced. It's always introducing new vegetables and more vegetables for your family. And Greece is no different. We are making spanakopita, which is a spinach pie. We're using frozen spinach, but there are a lot of fresh ingredients as well. So like, for instance, you got your parsley. We need a cup of chopped parsley, scallion, cucumber. I was given 2 types of cucumber by Melissa. We're going to use the small mini one, but you can also use a large cucumber if you like. Red onions, again, for our recipe, we want cherry tomatoes, but if you have big tomatoes, you can also use that, and I'll show you how to cut it. Okay, let's start. We are going through the steps, and remember, with this recipe, it's replacing the lamb burger, and so the same spices can be used. All right, let's start. Step one, let's start with prepping the ingredients. We are going to start by dicing the red onion, and we're going to use red onion both in the spinach pie and also for the Greek salad. Okay. Now, I was inspired to make this dish because when I was there 2 weeks ago, everywhere you go, there's spinach pie or chicken pie and all sorts of pies. And it's definitely, they eat it for lunch, they eat it for dinner, they eat it for breakfast. It's super healthy and it's everywhere. So that's why we are doing this. All right, mince the red onion. Remember, I've gone through this many times. Let's go through another layer here. Thinly slice it. So first go through the layers, but don't go through all the way. So you can keep them intact. Just thin slice and you can, like this. Okay, see, I can still hold it properly. And then slice through. Watch your fingers. I usually like to do kind of 3 layers. And then now, very easily, just get your really fine dice. Okay, keep the really nice thin ones, nice slices, dice for the Greek salad, and the rest, a quarter for Greek salad, and the rest for the spinach mixture. Okay, I'm gonna dice up the second one. Okay, I'll do the second one as well, same thing. Slice through, try to do it thin if you can, but if it's not, it's fine too. Just thin slices across. Make sure you keep it intact like this, and then across this way, and now you got your thin slices. I like to kind of scrape it on my bowl so I don't have to clean up. And then the last one can just roughly next we are going to cut the cherry tomato. Next we are cutting the cherry tomatoes, and if you have little tomatoes, cherry tomatoes like this, just literally cut them in half. These are really sweet ones. Now if you didn't manage to get a cherry tomatoes and you have kind of regular tomatoes in your fridge, use them too. Tomatoes are tomatoes, and I will show you how to cut those as well. Let's cut some regular tomatoes next. So if you ended up having a regular tomatoes at home, I would actually use it. Again, best way to cut tomatoes is actually a serrated knife, because it's just easier to cut it with the serrated knife. So if you have a regular tomatoes, this is how you do it for your Greek salad, okay? Just like the onion, we're gonna cut through the tomatoes, but not all the way to the end. Now cross it and make it easy to cut as cube dice. See? So now you got tomatoes that is kind of like a flower. Now you pull it together, so you see it's still intact, and then you cut across. You get a really nice chopped tomato right here. Okay, put them in a bowl. You can use this for your Greek salad. Okay, next we're gonna cut the cucumber. So I've asked for a small mini cucumber, but if you ended up having a large cucumber, I'm gonna show you how to do it too. If you have it in the fridge, use it. If you're using mini cucumbers, this is how you do it. Cut the ends off, and then cut lengthwise. Be careful, all the way down, and then cut them into a half inch of half moon cucumber shape. So okay, and then I'll show you next. If you do have a larger, you can do this together. Just be efficient. Okay, now you got two. So if you have larger cucumber, we will cut that too. So if you have a large cucumber, this is what you do. Again, cut off the ends. And then I would cut this in half. And usually the heart, the seeds, it's a lot of seeds, so I tend to just cut those off. So first you do that in half. Now with the large cucumber, you probably want to do quarters. Do them in quarters. And then kind of on the side, just cut off the seeds. And then you can similarly cut into a half inch chunks. So that's how you do it. Now, if you have a big cucumber, you can also, cut them a little bit smaller and then into the right shape. There you go. I always say check your fridge first because you never know what you have in your fridge. So, and you can always substitute it with whatever that you have in the fridge. Okay, let's cut off the seeds first. And this is pretty big, so I'm actually gonna cut them into an eighth. All right, and next we are going to cut the scallion and then the parsley. And then we are ready to start prepping the spinach filling. Scallion, I did get a big bunch of scallion from Lisa Produce. I think I only need, it actually say 6 in this small one, but since this is quite big, we'll only need 3. All right, so here you go. I already chop off the ends and get rid of the loose ends, and then chop off this end. And then cut them into, I would say, 3 inches. So it's easier to cut. Combine them together and thinly slice. This real big bunch, but doesn't matter. Thinly slice them. You can hold them tight. Just cut easier. Scallion is so good, and if it's spring, you can get actually really fresh one in the market, which is this. This is really fresh scallion. All right, this is a lot as well. And then next, we're gonna chop up some parsley. I say half a bunch. You want to cut into like a cup of parsley. All right, I'm going to put this away. Next, we're going to chop up scallion. This is a whole bunch. We only need a cup, so probably just half a bunch. So I'm going to pull this out. And then with parsley and cilantro, it's the same thing. There's a lot of stems, so just to be easy, and the stems are edible, I usually have to cut it and then just pinch off the leaves off the ends. Makes it a lot easier than just picking it up. If you have time, picking each up, it's great. And then I just roughly remove the stem that are longer and like this. See, this has a really big stem. I'm just gonna snap it off a little bit. And then the rest are totally fine. And after that, we're gonna put it together and remember, if you get parsley, rinse it off because there's always a little bit of dirt in it. And I like to spin it for a couple times to get rid of the little dirt, sand. Okay, now we are ready to chop. I'm gonna roll it into like a ball. And then make it tight and then chop it. Love parsley, especially right off the market. So once you have it, just again roughly chop it. It doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. And now we're ready to go to step 2. And now we're going to do step 2, which is prepping the spinach. As you know, frozen spinach is actually really soggy, and so it's easy, but you need to squeeze out all the water. So I have pre-made them, but I left some to show you how to do it. So strain it first. This is a 2-pack of chopped spinach. And then what you need to do is, the paper towel is great. I mean, you can use cheesecloth or even your dish towel, but I like to use paper towel. And then what I normally do is just take it like this and then squeeze it up. You see all the water that's coming out. And there you go. You have your spinach ready to be mixed. Okay. Now this recipe doesn't even need any skillet or pan. We're just gonna mix it up and put them in the baking dish. Okay, now we're prepping the spinach filling. I have feta cheese here, which I'm gonna break it up. I'm gonna put in the spinach. Again, the spinach was 2-pack of frozen spinach. Now you can use regular too, chopped spinach and fresh spinach, but you will have to use a lot. And then I'm gonna break up the feta. Then we're gonna add a cup of chopped parsley and a cup of chopped diced scallion. So like that. And then 3/4 of the onion, because you're going to leave a quarter of it for the Greek salad. And then we're going to add 1.5 teaspoon of salt and mix it up. And we will add 1 egg as well. And we will add our savory mediti spices, and also 1.5 teaspoon of salt and pepper. Okay, mix this up, and then we're gonna add egg after that. And then we'll add 1 egg and mix well, and then set it aside. And then we're gonna start preparing the pies. So break up the yolk and then mix it up. And we'll set up the pie and then put it in the oven next. All right, now we're gonna start making the pie. I actually have a square baking sheet, about 12-inch, but you can also use a cast iron pan that is also 12 inches. And I actually got the phyllo factory dough. You don't want to make your own phyllo dough. You can, but it's a lot of work because you want to make it really thin. And phyllo factory actually have a gluten-free as well, phyllo dough for gluten-free option. And now what you do is, because it's so thin and flimsy, you got to be super careful. So olive oil, lots of olive oil with this. I got this Greece one directly from Greece. So make sure you actually oil the pan all the way. Got to have lots of olive oil. Be generous, and you don't want it to stick to the bottom when you cut it. All right, so I'm going to generously put the olive oil on, and now I'm going to drape the phyllo dough onto the baking tray. So you have to be super careful. So follow instruction. I actually discovered this way of, instead of doing one layer at a time and then oil it, actually just drizzle the oil all over. So first, I'm gonna cover the top. This is a very big dough. I'm actually gonna do 3 layers just to start. Drape it over. Make like plenty on the edges so that you can kind of wrap it over. Okay, just like this to start. And then I'm gonna crumble a couple of layers and put it as a base. Okay, just gonna do 2 layers just to put it as a base. And then what I'm gonna do next is drizzle more olive oil. Okay. And frankly, the crumble also give it a little texture. Now I'm gonna use the spinach mixture and put half of them in there. And next, crumble more of, actually put some olive oil first, drizzle them all over. Then crumble like this and put it like a little ball between the gap. Now the phyllo factory phyllo is really long, so I'm gonna kind of pinch it in half. Just make it like a little crumble ball. So it in half. Now all phyllo come in different sizes. So this one is a little bit thicker and longer. So I can use half before I crumble them. So fill up as a layer between. Continue doing this until it's covered. So don't worry about it being like, it's like paper almost. So now you have it properly covered like this. And what you do is olive oil, be generous, drizzle it across. Now final layer of the remaining spinach. Don't make it too tight, just a little loose is fine. Okay. So then what you do after this is one more drizzle. So I'm actually doing step 3 and 4 right now. And then we're gonna cover this like this. More olive oil. Yeah, this will make it really crispy. Give it a little brush. Make sure it's well covered. And then we're gonna then top it up with, so this kind of crumble, give it a little like texture and crisp. So I really like it. So just a little ball. Actually, this is fun for kids to do. So just top it up, and it also looks beautiful. It's almost like a flower. All right. So then it's ready. We're gonna drizzle more olive oil. And there's a little trick I want to show you. So don't be shy, drizzle more olive oil. And then this is a trick I want to show you. Pre-cut the spanakopita into squares and then let it cook, because not only it will cook the inside better, it also allows you to have already a pre-cut segment, and when you cut it, it doesn't destroy the crisp. So just make sure you use a serrated knife to cut it through. Okay. With this square dish, I should be able to get 9 pieces. And it's pretty deep, so you get really filled up with just even a slice. All right, now this is ready to go in the oven. There you go. I'm gonna go to the oven next. Okay, while the spanakopita is being cooked, we are going to prep the Greek salad. Super easy. We're gonna have tablespoon of, and this is half a tablespoon, sorry, tablespoon of olive oil, and then we're gonna add half a tablespoon of vinegar. We're gonna add a tablespoon of the herby mix. We're gonna add a teaspoon of herby mix. And keep the rest for another time. And then I'm gonna have some pepper, teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna whisk this up. And now we're just going to add the cucumber and tomato. Then we add up cucumber, tomato, onion. I'm gonna also add more of the cucumber that I cut earlier. And while the spanakopita is being cooked, you can just put this in the fridge. Your Greek salad's ready. We're just gonna wait for the spanakopita. Okay, so here you go. The spanakopita, just straight out of the oven. Very, very hot. And you can see we pre-cut it so you can see clearly the squares. So now what you need to do is recut it, and so because we pre-cut it, you see it's very easy to go through and it doesn't break up the flakes. So now we are going to serve with the Greek salad. And by the way, I have leftover tzatziki from our souvlaki recipe. I'm going to add a little bit of tzatziki to freshen up the dish. Okay, and you just kind of do the edge a little bit so it can come off. It's nice and flaky. So we're going to try cut one out and serve. Be careful. Look how beautiful is this. Here you go. I'm going to add a bit of Greek salad and a dash of tzatziki that I made leftover. Here you go. Enjoy spanakopita. So I hope you've enjoyed this month's episode of visiting Greece and making spanakopita. As you know, this is a new recipe that I'm replacing with lamb burger. Now, some of you may get boxes that have 4 recipes. So if you do have that, you can either use the same spice to make lamb burger or spanakopita. It's the same. I hope you enjoy it. And until next time, we are exploring another country next.